Hi there, it's Sean Duro-Fadipe here once again, SDF if you will, and I'm delighted to come your way again to this beautiful Friday. Okay, so what do I want to show you today? I want to basically show you how to use the pivot points or pivot lines, if you will, to trade step index. Okay, recall that I recorded a video some time ago talking about how pivot line can be used to trade trade crash and burn. All right, so today I want to basically just show you how you can use the pivot lines to trade step index. All right, for those that some reached out to me after the last video that time. Now before I proceed, if you didn't see that video, I'm going to hook the link somewhere in the description so you can also check out that video. All right, some people contacted me last time and said they couldn't download. Those that could download said they would like to know how to use it on other indices. So here is the answer to there is actually an answer to that request. Okay, so today I'll be showing you how to use the pivot lines to trade step index, and of course we're going to be combining our overbought and oversold indicator. All right, and in this case we're going to be using the stochastic default setting. All right, so we will be doing that. Okay, so send the link to download the indicator in the description, so of course you can download it immediately. Okay, so first thing you want to do here is add your stochastic. All right, that's easy enough. All you need to do is insert, come to indicators, oscillators, then choose your stochastic oscillator, and you're done. All right, the next thing you want to do is to add your pivot lines, your pivot point indicator. All right, so I'll be putting the link, like I said, in the description below, so you can just download. So how do you use this? We are going to be combining price action plus price action with the stochastic. Okay, now how do you start this? You want to go to your H1 first. That's what you need to do first. Okay, so now we're on H1. When you come to H1, you want to find your overbought and oversold regions. Okay, now just as a refresher, this pivot line, of course, they serve as pivot lines serve as support and resistance. Okay, they're actually calculated from previous day data. Okay, you can refer to the first video on pivot lines. I'm going to put the link in the description just so you understand how it's calculated and all of this. Even though it's not important, but at least you can appreciate how this is used to determine support and resistance, and the fact that it doesn't change. Okay, because of course it's previous day data, which means it remains constant all through today. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is check out your oversold and overbought regions. Okay, in this case we now have an oversold point. You know, by default it's the 80 level that is your overbought, and there is the 20 level that is your oversold. Okay, so how do we combine this? We want to wait for an oversold level. All right, as you can see, this is coming close to support. As you can see it, we've been getting rejection, so it's coming close to support. So of course we can now start anticipating that it will buy. All right, because of the rejection we are seeing at support. But we are not just going to make an entry because we are seeing this rejection as support. What we are going to do is, let's take note that it's oversold here. All right, it's now oversold at this point. Okay, so we expect it to buy. All right, and from here we do not do that buy just yet. Then you drop to your 15 minutes. Okay, when you drop to your 15 minutes, this is it right here. Okay, now the next thing you want to look out for your 15 minutes is we want to look out for a bullish candlestick pattern being formed very close to the pivot line on the 15 minutes. And yes, indeed, here we have a pin bar here, excuse me, and here we have a pin bar very close to this pivot line. Okay, so what you do is we now look for the first. I want to look for a candlestick. Remember, we already have a bullish bias. All right, we have a bullish sentiment because of course price has gotten to an oversold region, so we're expecting it to buy. Okay, so when you're dropping down to your 15 minutes, you want to look for a buy structure. You want to look for a buy pattern. Okay, so right now here we are having a bullish pin bar at support, close to this very support zone. Remember, it's not a line, this should be regarded as a zone. Okay, and yes, we got this bullish engulf, sorry, we got this bullish pin bar. All right, so you could make an entry from this point and of course just hold on to it. This is step index and it's 15 minutes now that we are on, so you can then make an entry and leave this to buy till the next pivot line. In this case, the next pivot line is this yellow line. Okay, so you could have entered after this pin bar. All right, we could have made an entry on this one and we could have just bought all the way to this line. Now look at this, we got to this line, we got rejection around this zone, it came back all the way down and now we're having rejection again, you see. So this is serving as support, as you can see it. So that's one. All right, that's one. You could have made this entry and of course you'd have done a buy and you'd have been able to buy the step index up until the support zone. Okay, sorry, this resistance zone, because in this case this pivot line is serving as resistance. Okay, so let's go back to H1. Remember, the first thing you want to look out for is we're trying to spot oversold and overbought regions. That's key. Okay, so here is an overbought region, right? So what do we want to do next? You want to drop to your 15 minutes and then you want to look for a sell entry. Okay, how do you get the sell entry? Right here. Now here, remember I said to find the sell entry, you want to look for candlestick pattern that confirms the sell bias. And what do we have here? We have what do we have here? We have a bearish engulfing, an outside bar. Okay, a bearish engulfing, which is an indication that it's about to go into a sell. And yes, indeed, it went into a sell. And this point could have been used as your take profit. So you could have taken your profit at this point. Okay, that line serves as support. All right, that's another one. So let's see one more, two more. Go back to H1. And what do we have here? We got a buy. Remember, this has come to an oversold region. So our bias right now is we expect to do a buy. Okay, now we're dropping down to 15 minutes because we want to look for an entry and we also want to minimize the drawdown. That's where we're dropping to 15 minutes. Okay, because if you're making your entry on that same time frame, of course you're going to have a lot of drawdown. So we want to drop here to minimize drawdown. Okay, let me explain that to you just so you appreciate the need to drop down to 55 minutes. Now, if we're making an entry just here, okay, so we'll come back here 1 hour. Now here is the thing. Now remember, we want to look for an entry. We want to look for an entry that confirms the buy direction. Okay, so let's use the candlestick pattern right here. What do we have? We have an inside bar. This is formed within the range of this previous bearish candle, that's right. Okay, and of course we want to wait for the breakout of this inside bar. This is an inside bar, so we want to wait for the breakout. If we're waiting for the breakout of that one, we could have had something like this. So right now this is an inside bar, so we're waiting for it to break out of this range. Okay, and so when it broke out of this range, we could have then done a buy. Then of course when you're doing your buy, you want to do it to the next key level. In this case, the next key level is this support. So you could do a buy, then let it buy up until this support. All right, and then you will be in profit. Okay, let's look for some more. Okay, I think this was the one we just, okay, so next one, 10 minutes. I don't want this video to be too long. Now want to look for another over. In this case it is overbought. Okay, here is overbought, and so because it's overbought, what are we anticipating? We're anticipating that to go into a sell. Okay, so I drop to my 15 minutes, and when I come to 15 minutes, what do I want to look for? I want to look for a formation that is suggesting to me that's about to go into a sell. Okay, and so what did I have for here? What's this not coming? Okay, so here we have this. All right, now look at this. Remember that we expect a sell, so what we want to look out for is a candlestick formation that confirms the sell. Now here is the first candlestick formation that's confirming the sell. Again, what we have here is an inside bar, as you can see. So we want to wait for it to break out, because right now these bearish candles are formed within the range of this bullish candle. All right, so we want to wait for the breakout. So yes, you could have waited for the breakout, then you then do a sell and do it to the next significant level. And in this case, the next significant level is this pivot line. So we could have taken the trade up until here and you'll be fine. Very conservative trading, but you will be profitable. All right, now let's go back and do one more. All right, just so you see that we're not cherry picking, we're just doing this back testing the way it's coming. Now here is another one. It says oversold. We expect it to go into a buy. All right, so what do we do? You drop down to your 15 minutes, and when you drop down to 15 minutes, what do you look out for? You wait and try to spot a bullish candlestick pattern. All right, I will suggest to you that's actually going into that buy. So do we have that right here? We will see. What we have here, we've not had a bullish. Remember, this is the line, so we want to wait for the first bullish candlestick confirmation that we're going to have. Okay, and yes, we got it around here, so you could have entered a trade and taken it up until this next significant level. All right, which is where your take profit will now be. Okay, that's that. Now I hope this makes sense to you guys. I hope this is making sense. Okay, now here's another one. This is oversold. Okay, I'm just going to take this, and that will be all. Now this is oversold. Respect at this point that it should go into a buy, right? So come, it's 15 minutes, and try to look for a candlestick formation that suggests that buy. And yes, indeed, we got a doji here. We got a doji here at first. There was a doji here at first, and yes, we got this, and of course you could have gone into that trade, and boom, it will hit your next key level, which is this point. Okay, so you'd have taken profit here. I think that's fine, right? I think hopefully you understand the intricacies of this particular strategy I'm showing you. It's important that you find the overbought and oversold regions on the 1 hour, then you drop down to 15 minutes to look for an entry based on candlestick formation. So that's it, guys. This isn't going to be 100%. Let me just put that disclaimer out there. All right, this is not going to be 100%. You're going to be profitable if you use this without throwing risk management measures, without throwing that to wind. You should be very, very profitable using this.